Donald Trump has left hospital and triumphantly declared, "Don't be afraid of COVID and don't let it dominate your life." The US president, who's received round-the-clock, of course, first-class medical care, including cutting-edge experimental treatments not available to the public, said he was feeling really good. He's got COVID licked.
Yeah, at least 12 people close to Mr. Trump have now tested positive for COVID. And the death toll across the US is 210,000 people.
Well, we're joined now by Washington Post columnist Christine Ember, who says the president's dismissal of the pandemic makes him a threat to national security, and to radio talk show host and political commentator Ben Ferguson, who argues that Trump's behaviour shows leadership. Ben Ferguson, good to talk to you, as always.
Good to be here, man.
Just curious, what part of the leadership we saw in the last 24 hours from Donald Trump, given he's got COVID, which is a lethal virus that can kill people, and so far, he's got into a car with Secret Service agents to do a flyby to wave at fans. Then he's done this sort of movie that he created of him flying back as a superhero and got on the balcony, ripped off his mask, and then gone inside without a mask and met other people at the White House, which is currently infested with COVID, with numerous people now all around him going down with this virus. I'm curious what you've seen that I've missed, which constitutes leadership and not unbelievably reckless stupidity.
Well, look, you got two options, and I think the option you're talking about here is coddling in the corner and not coming out of hiding. And then guess what? People will be saying, "Oh, the president's dying. Oh my gosh, he's unfit. Oh my goodness,
my
who's really running the government?"
I don't want him to kill other people with the virus streaming out of his body.
Okay, again, you have millions of people that have dealt with COVID. Can we both agree on that premise?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want everyone to sit at home, no one to go to work, and no one to continue on with their lives? Or do you do what the president's doing, which is he said, let me finish.
Hang on. Let me answer that question. I didn't get to make a point yet.
Piers, come on. Let me at least finish my point here.
All right.
You have a president that went to Walter Reed Medical Center, and you know Donald Trump. Donald Trump listened to the doctors. He went and got the treatment. He went to the hospital. He also wanted to make it very clear. I am fighting this. I am fighting for the American people. I'm getting better, and I am coming back to the White House. I'm going to beat this, and I want to encourage everyone else to beat this and to fight hard. There's nothing wrong with that.
Why is he not following what the CDC, his own government body, tells Americans to do when they test positive for COVID? Why did he not follow it when his own aide, Hope Hicks, tested positive? He went and did a rally and threw baseball caps at people. As it turned out, he himself was positive. Why is he not following the guidelines his own government is laying down for American citizens like you?
Again, I think the President of the United States of America has taken multiple tests, as you know, and they have these rapid tests, and then they have the more extensive ones. And the President took a test, and from what I understand, he felt like, and they felt like, he was okay to go out in public.
When did he get that negative test? Because they won't tell us, Ben. You seem to know more than we do. You seem to know more than we do.
No, what I'm saying is you don't...
Do you know when he last had a negative test? Do you know?
Piers, we know that he gets tested either every day or at least every other day. That's what we know consistency.
Ben, with respect to you, we know that's what the White House says has been happening. But when they've been repeatedly asked... When they've been repeatedly asked, when did he last test negative, they have repeatedly refused to tell the American public that one incredibly important fact. Because if it turns out he didn't get tested that day, and he hears that Hope Hicks has tested positive, who he's been around the entire time, why on earth would he go and risk other people's lives?
Again, I go back to the fear-mongering aspect of this, and what you're implying is that if you're around somebody and you're the President of the United States of America, that you just sit at home, you do nothing, and you don't lead in this country. That is not always an option when you're an actual leader of the United States of America. That's also why he has the best medical team in the world around him, and he is taking these tests on a consistent basis.
Okay.
And what we understand is that the President of the United States of America did, in fact, get COVID. And what did he do? He went to quarantine. He went to Walter Reed. But you're still the leader of the free world.
You're supposed to do 14 days, Ben.
Well, 10 days, according to the CDC. Christine Ember, how much information that we're getting from the White House and doctors do you trust?
Honestly, very little at this point. We've seen that Donald Trump over the past 4 years, and especially over the past week, cares about no one except himself and his reelection prospects, and is willing to hide information. Piers, as you mentioned, we still don't know the date when he was first diagnosed with COVID-19. there have been leaks, floods of leaks, frankly, from the White House and from Walter Reed Medical Center, with even the president's chief of staff secretly attempting to tell reporters that what doctors had been saying about President Trump's condition over the weekend was an unfairly rosy assessment. The president himself seems to be pressuring doctors to, again, let him leave the hospital, even though that is extremely out of the norm for a COVID patient of his age, frankly, and his comorbidities. But I mean, you keep saying that there is only one option for the president, that he needs to get out there and lead. Actually, that's not the case. The president could also wear a mask, set a good example for the country. Social distance, set a good example for the country.
He wore a mask on and off and walked into his home and took the mask off, which you do when you go home. You wear a mask in your home?
Let me jump in.
Do you wear a mask in your home?
Let me jump in. Ben, he did wear a mask. We're watching him walking towards the White House. He then got to the balcony and he then made a huge dramatic move to rip off his mask. And then we see him walking back into the White House. Well, why are you laughing? He's then mingling with people in the White House without a mask. The guy's COVID positive. Why is that funny?
Again, that's where he lives. That's where he lives. When you
why
go
is he,
home,
why is he putting the lives at risk of the people in there?
Again, Piers, you act like he ripped his mask off and threw it off the balcony. That's not what he did.
No,
he took
he
his
ripped
mask
it off to
Let's
make a
dial
point.
down
He didn't want to. He didn't want to be seen. He didn't want to be seen wearing a mask. Ben, here's my question for you.
He definitely wanted to be seen wearing a mask because when he was riding in the car, getting in the limo, and going out to the helicopter, Marine One, he was wearing his damn mask.
Ben, let me ask a question. Do you, when you go out, Ben, do you wear a mask to protect other people you may come into contact with?
When I go home, I take my mask off. When I get in my car, I take my mask off. When I'm around my family, I take my mask off. When I go out into public, I do wear a mask, yes.
How many people are in your home at any given time, Ben?
I would say 3 to 5 at any given time.
OK, there's about, I don't know, 500 at the White House. When he walked in...
And how many people at the White House are in the corridor going up to the residence? Ben, you don't know.
Ben, you see him directly standing around a group of people. He is COVID positive and he's taken his mask off. You must surely have watched that footage and gone, what the hell are you doing?
No, what I thought was the President of the United States of America, unlike the Washington Post, who put an article out hours after the president was tested COVID positive, that said, imagine a world where you never had to deal with Donald Trump again, implying that he could die like that's a good thing, which is what the Post put out, for goodness sakes.
But Ben, I agree with you about that.
The president should be able to go to his house.
Ben, I agree with you about that.
And take his mask off.
Yeah, he shouldn't be taking it off when he goes back in and comes across a group of people. Why is he putting their lives at risk?
So the President of the United States of America, you're telling me that in his house where he lives, the White House, it happens to be the White House.
It's not his house.
You're telling me whether it's there or at Downing Street, that any world leader that's around any other person should be wearing a mask, even in their own home. Give me a break. There's no way that's going to happen.
When they're COVID positive, let me tell you what the British Prime Minister did.
You'd want to protect the people around you.
The British Prime Minister isolated in his flat for 9 days without seeing a single other person other than, in fact, he didn't even see his fiancée.
No.
He was alone in his flat, Ben. That's what we did here.
And
then after 9 days, by the way,
for 4 days
after 9 days, he went to ICU and nearly died. But for those 9 days, he self-isolated. This president should be self-isolating.
Thank goodness, Piers, that the President of the United States of America did not have to go to the ICU for 9 days. Thank goodness,
you don't know
the Washington
yet, do you?
Post,
How do you
who's
know?
hoping that Donald Trump will die.
How do you know it didn't happen until the 9th day, Ben?
But the President of the United States of America clearly has doctors around him and listening to them.
It didn't happen until day 9.
Okay. So what you want to do is say to Donald Trump, we believe that you should go ahead and hit that clock. And for 9 days,
the President of the United States is COVID positive. He should be self-isolating.
Yeah. OK, we have to leave it there.
210,000 Americans have died.
Christine,
hey,
Ember,
all
thank
I
you
can
very
say
much.
is I'm glad the president's alive, unlike the Washington Post, who's saying they hope he's dead.
No, well... you know.
Well, nobody should hope he's
Everybody
dead.
is
I
glad
don't
when
think we
someone recovers from
Nobody
COVID.
should hope he's dead.
But
I wish him a
everybody
full
thinks
recovery.
you
Look at
should
their headline.
act in a way
I wish he'd
as
show
a
more
role
responsibility,
model,
Ben. I really do.
not
And I
to
think,
spread
I think
the virus.
underneath all the bluster, I think you do too. Because I heard you yesterday on CNN, I think it was, saying that every time you go out, you put your mask on. Because
And
you have
you'd want
respect
to
for
protect
people.
people.
And
You have respect for other people and for yourself and your family when you go home. He does not have that respect. He wants to be seen as macho superhero. And then when he goes back inside,
Piers,
there's a bunch
he
of
wore
people
the
standing
mask
there.
walking
We
out
have
of
to
Wall
leave it
3.
there. Ben
He
Ferguson,
wore
thanks
it in
very
the
much
car. He
indeed.
wore
And
it
He
Christina,
didn't wear it
thank
when he
you
walked
very
back
much.
in and
to
came
home.
across a load of people.
OK.